Welcome to Broke Ass to Badass, where heart-led entrepreneurs learn to build the businesses and lives of their dreams with confidence, ease, and joy. This is the anti-hustle movement, and we're your coaches in badassery, Kimi and Pua.
Find out more at bledigital.com, and wherever you're listening to this, be sure to click subscribe so you never miss an episode.
This episode is day 5 of our 5-day Productivity for Badass Entrepreneurs Challenge that we held in our Facebook group. You can find that at bledigital.com/tribe. We'd love to see you in there. Today's training is all about leveraging the power of accountability and support. This is often the secret sauce for making those purposeful productivity habits stick. We dig into weekly planning, gamifying your productivity, and ways to reprogram your subconscious beliefs to reach your next level of badassery. We announce our Broke Ass to Badass scholarship winner in this episode, and we also announce that our program is reopening. So our 8-week coaching program, Broke Ass to Badass, is reopening October 1st. So we would love to chat with you and see if it's a right fit for you. If you want to find out more, definitely DM us, or you can go to brokeasstobadass.com to find out more. We're so excited for our 5th and final day of our Productivity for Badasses challenge. So first of all, we just want to celebrate all of you for being on this journey with us. It's been so fun. You guys are seriously just crushing it with your homework, your participation, the comments. We just love it so much. And thank you to those of you that have been following along on the podcast as well, and for your direct messages and comments on Instagram at Broke Ass to Badass. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. They really mean the world to us. And we have some prizes to give away today. We have our 1 hour.
You have to shake the bowl every time.
I have to shake the bowl every time. I wish people on the podcast could see me shaking the bowl. So, Jared, look at this. It's a Hall of Heroes Peggy Chun calabash right here. Yay, from 2009. It's a special bowl. There's good energy in that bowl. And in it is going to be our prize for our 1 hour productivity coaching session for getting your homework in yesterday. Great job on that. We love seeing all the amazing habits that you guys are going to be implementing in your life. And then we have our scholarship, our Broke Ass to Badass scholarship to announce today. We're so excited. And we also have another contest that we're going to be doing today if you get your homework in. So today we're going to be talking all about, on this final day, leveraging accountability and support. Leveraging accountability and support. So this is so important because over this whole week, we've talked about a lot in a very short amount of time. And you guys have really gotten clear on some of the habits that you'd like to put back into your life or start creating in your life. You've gotten clear about ways that you're going to become more focused, more effective. And so the missing piece often, and the secret sauce to success, is often accountability and support. And so after this challenge, what are you going to be doing in order to keep the momentum going, to really stay true to the commitments that you're making to yourself? We talked a little bit yesterday about Gretchen Rubin's quiz, and I guess it's not surprising that there's so many rebels in a badass community like this, right? And especially entrepreneurs, and so we love it. We love seeing like rebel, 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 rebel. So for you rebels, I posted a little article about the importance of identity, and if you accountability can work really well for you. Accountability can work really well for all of the tendencies, and we'll dig in a little bit more to that as we get started with our training for today. So get your get your worksheets out.
You pretty much just did number 1, so just keep going.
Oh, I pretty much did. Wow. Okay, so point number 1. For most of us, accountability is the secret sauce to productivity. So this is the key. So let's just do a little recap on the tendencies, that the different personality types that they might be. For you, you might be somebody that has no problem meeting inner and outer expectations. Perhaps for you, when you say you're going to do something, it's no problem. Perhaps for you, if you tell somebody else that you're going to do it, it's going to leverage even more accountability and power in your life. That's most people. And again, as a rebel, you might have a strong identity as somebody that follows through on their word, as a good person. So accountability is going to work really well if you tell somebody else that you're doing something, right? So that you can maintain that identity of somebody that is a person of their word. And for questioners, if you're a questioner like me, I think Kay said she's a questioner. So if you're a questioner like me, know that accountability it's like a superpower, right? It's a superpower that we can, studies after studies after studies have shown that when you tell somebody else that you're going to do something, you're so much more likely to implement that thing in your life. So really think about ways that you can leverage accountability and support. This is why, by the way, coaching is so effective, right? Because you have somebody there that is reminding you of what it is that you committed to. You have somebody there that is external, outside of you, and it's typically easier to meet their expectations than it is to meet our inner expectations. And again, this is not about judgment. And I think this is where people sometimes get a little bit mixed up and a little bit down on themselves, is that they feel as if it's some type of character flaw that we can't meet our inner expectations. But that is just total bullshit. And it is just something that we as humans can leverage if we understand and if we release the judgment around it. So be easy on yourself and just know how you work. And a few ways that you can leverage accountability. Of course, the obvious, right? To work with a coach, to post on Facebook. I saw Geraldine shared that one of the ways that she puts accountability in place in her life is that she posts somewhere public what she's going to do. Right? And then you can share in our group, post in the Facebook group on Mondays what you're going to be accountable for that week. Every time we post a MEBA Monday, leverage the support of communities around you that are aligned in the goals that you have for yourself. Other ways to leverage support and accountability, you could create a little bit of find an accountability partner to somebody that has shared goals, right? There's so many different ways. Pua, do you have any other ways to leverage accountability and support?
Yeah, I do. You pay a lot of money for something. So for those of us, like, getting uncomfortable is a great way to stay accountable. That is one thing. Like, there were a lot of rebels, and I don't have any problem. And those of you in the group who resonate with this, you might want to listen in. I have no problem letting myself down, and I kind of don't feel that guilty if I let someone else down, as long as it's not like, I don't know. I feel bad saying that. But like, if I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym, I'll see you there at 6:00 tomorrow. And then at 6:00 tomorrow, I'm like, it's all right. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me, unless I know that person is really counting on me to be there. If I can trust that they're going to get just as good of a workout without me, it won't do enough for me. But if I'm paying, $200, $300 a month to go to a gym, sorry, the dog, I'll go every single day because I want to get my money's worth, right? So again, accountability is very often, it works when you can link it to the things that you value. And everyone's like, God, she's such a shitty person. It's just who I am. It's just what accountability works for me. So when we are talking to people and coaching people who are coming through our program, who want to do online courses, and we're talking about pricing, that's the other thing, right? Accountability is a lot to do with energy exchange. So if what you value is if you feel discomfort at all, right? So there's the energy of time, right? If you are feeling uncomfortable about the time investment, but you know that it's worth it, you're going to make it happen. That's accountability. If you're feeling uncomfortable about the financial investment, you're going to make it happen. That's accountability. If these other external factors don't work for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, but you're number 2.
Oh, I didn't know if you were done or not. Okay. Number 2. We're going to start with a story again. So number 2 is all about weekly planning. So it says weekly planning is a powerful tool for intention setting and accountability. So put that into your own words. I'll put that in the chat. But so, okay, Kimi and I created a weekly planner, and I'm going to tell you why and how. And it was an accident, but it's awesome. It's like the best accident that ever happened to us. So she and I have tried like every task management program, system, planner under the freaking sun. And we share this. We share that when we're like invested and we'll do it every day and it's really awesome. And as soon as we miss a day or it kind of like we kind of don't keep up with it as often as we're supposed to, the whole thing stops working and we just give up. Like, have you guys ever had a journal and you're like, I'm going to write in this every single day, and you write maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks every day. And then maybe you miss a day and you're like, oh God, okay, it's okay if I miss one day, but I'm just going to keep going. And then you miss a couple days and you're like, screw it. I can't, I broke the chain. I'm over it. I'm done. Right. So that we share that, and it's having a daily practice like this is just not sustainable for people like us. So what we did is, and we'll rewind a little bit. So Kimi and I, this whole Best Life Ever BLE Digital Kimi and Pua thing started with a podcast. And it was a weekly podcast. So we would meet every single week and we would talk about whatever we were going to talk about on the podcast for the week. And instead of just planning the podcast, we started planning our lives. And we'd check in with each other, see how we were doing. And we'd start to just create this plan every week. And we'd ask each other questions. We'd ask ourselves questions, right? Like, what could we do this week to move this forward? What are the big things that we have to do this week in order to really hit our goals and make sure that we're living in alignment and feeling really good about the way that we're spending our time? So we created this weekly planning system. And whether or not you use a planner, a planning system, weekly planning in and of itself is so powerful, because without that regular check-in, we end up just kind of falling along the path, right? Like it's like somebody's pushing us forward instead of us like voluntarily taking the steps forward. So what we do every week is we just ask ourselves a series of questions, right? So, what can I say yes to this week? What can I say no to this week, right? We talked about that. What are the 3 big things I can do this week to really move things forward? What are, how do I feel mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? We have this whole thing, all of these questions. And it is so epic because you don't even realize that you are creating accountability for yourself by identifying these things and acting intentionally in accordance to what you feel is most important. Okay? Intention is really, really important here. Again, this is all about awareness. Without asking yourself these big questions regularly, we don't get to create that awareness. The other thing about this weekly planning thing is that it allows us to shift with what's inspiring us at the time. So for us, our weekly planner comes with a big vision section. And these are 5 questions, really big vision, where you get to step back, ask yourself, like, what do you really want for your life? And we'll do that every 3 or 4 months. And what that does is it really helps you to get clear on, when you're doing these little things week to week, what's the big thing that you're shooting for? Okay. And the reason why we do that every few months and not once a year is because over the course of 12 months, your trajectory could change drastically. And you want to be able to be fluid in the way that you live your life day to day and week to week, and change things, change your goals, change what feels good to you, and change what's in alignment with the way that you want to live and the life that you want to have, because that's who we are as humans. We change. And we got to, again, like start to flex and really strengthen that change muscle. And this is a great way to do that. So yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So,
sorry. One more thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that weekly planning allows you to do, and this is something that will only work, well, not only, unless you have like a great memory, but write it down. Find some way to track everything that you plan week to week to week. What this does is it allows you to see patterns. Patterns are huge, 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 huge. For productivity, once you can identify patterns, you can start to create shifts, right? So going back to the decision matrix, the best way to figure out if you are spending a lot of time in your fires, your low-level tasks, delights and distractions, sweet spot, is figure out the patterns. Because again, sometimes we don't even have the awareness that we're doing something repeatedly. Without that awareness, we can't change it. We can't create the shifts. Okay, so write it down. And the coolest part about this process is every few months, go back and look at your weekly planning in a chunk, like 4, 8, 12, 16 weeks at a time, and start to see what's kind of coming out of the woodwork as a pattern. This is the coolest thing, because we'll go back like a few months and we'll watch our business evolve. We'll watch our life evolve, and we'll see how our own intentions have shifted and how this process has allowed us to really gracefully work through those shifts. I know it sounds weird, like it's hard to conceptualize until you've done it, but just trust us and give it a try. It's really cool.
Yeah. And guys, like thinking about all of these things. So I feel like we probably talked about 100 different productivity and habit formation strategies this week. And sometimes we can feel like, oh my gosh, I want to implement all the things. Like, I don't know if you're like me, but I get super excited about these kinds of things. And sometimes I'll overcommit to too many things, right? Or I'll like put so much pressure on myself where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to work in Pomodoros. I'm going to track my time and my energy. I'm going to challenge myself to do this. I'm going to only do this and only do that. And then I'm going to add this to my life and add this new habit. And then all of a sudden I feel like overwhelmed by my own desire to be not overwhelmed, right? So this is about experimentation and like picking and choosing, and you don't have to figure out like the perfect morning to evening complete day of productivity right now. You can figure out what works for you this week, what works for you next week, if try something out for a little bit. And if it doesn't work, then move on to something else, and know that just because something is working really well for one person doesn't mean that means it's going to work really well for you, or that it has to. So have fun with this. And that's what really brings us to point number 3, which is to gamify your productivity and accountability. Okay, so this is where we get to like bring some of the fun to this. And I mean, we really believe in bringing fun to everything that we do. And we tend to create habits, and the creation of habits tend to be a lot more enjoyable if we bring in that element of fun and gamifying, and they tend to be more sustainable too. Especially because it's coming from a different place, right? If we decide that we're going to gamify our productivity, and we'll give you some strategies for that, but if we decide we're going to have fun with this, we're going to experiment, we're going to keep it light, that's coming from a place of, I want to be more inspired, right? I want to level up in some way. Gamifying, it's like the video game idea, right? I want to level up. When we take the fun out of it and we're just like, oh my gosh, yeah, I should be more productive. I better do this. I have to do this. I need to do that. It brings this heavy energy to it where it's all about what we should do because we're lacking something in some way, right? It comes from that lack mentality, that not enoughness. And again, bullshit story, you are doing just fine. You're doing the best. We are all doing the best that we can with the awareness that we have. So I think Pua said it earlier this week, don't should all over yourself. Just have fun with this process. Laugh at yourself a little bit, lighten up, and be experimental and have some fun with this process. So a few ways that you can gamify your productivity and your accountability, because who doesn't love games, right? Like we love it. And you can, as we talked about a little bit earlier, you can find accountability buddies. You can challenge each other. You can turn this a little bit into like friendly competition, right? So when we used to coach in corporate, we would give them ideas like in your shared office space, right? Like have like frog eating contests, like who can eat the most frogs? I remember we did some workshops and we would bring like gummy frogs for them to keep in the office so that when they ate a frog, they could really eat like a gummy frog. So again, find ways to make it fun. I was just talking with Ashley, our B2B scholarship winner, this morning on a call, and I was sharing with her that the way that we made housework fun in our household is with a Trello board. So using the software Trello, we created a list of all the household chores and we kind of gamified it. So it makes it fun. And every time we have like our cleaning hour, we go to the Trello board and then we pull the things over that we're either doing or that we've completed as a family. And it turns it into a family game instead of me as a mom nagging everyone in the household to get shit done, right? So it like I feel like I'm not the bad cop anymore. I'm not the villain, and it's like the board said to do it, so it makes it a lot more fun. And now actually the kids ask for it. So Sawyer the other day, he's like, it's easier when we just do the Jello thing. I said, it's Trello, the Trello board. So have fun with it, figure out how you can gamify it in some way. And if you're working with a team or in your family environment, ask the people around you, like, how could we make this fun? That's a really simple question that can lighten up anything that you have on your plate. And we also love the idea of gamifying our goals and our vision and our intention and our mission when it comes to our business, right? So instead of like looking at like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do all these things for our business? Can we flip that and ask ourselves questions like, how many people can I reach out to today? How many people can I serve? How much fun can I have doing what I'm doing? This is the game that Pua and I love to play, like asking each other, like, how can we do the least amount of work in order to yield the most results, right? So figure out what your game is each week. And this is something that you can build into your weekly planning process and just ask yourself, again, that really powerful question, how can I make this fun? And what's the game? What's the game this week that will help lead me to whatever it is that I want to create in my life?
Yeah. Perfect segue into point number 4, which is, and this, guys, if you get nothing else from this week, this is the 1-2 punch. Reprogram your subconscious beliefs. Okay. Productivity is it's a mindset, right? And this is something that we work to reprogram on a daily basis. And I think this is just something that, corporate life maybe has created some sort of bullshit around, or even growing up like a traditional school system, right? Where we are so in the mindset of dollars for hours, right? As long as you're busy, you're making money. As long as you're doing something, you're being productive. And that's just not true, especially as an entrepreneur. So as Kimi said, the game here, for the productivity game in general, is very easy. How can you progress the furthest and do the least amount of work? That's it. It's like golf. The lower your score, the better you do. I think, is that how you go golf? I don't golf. That's just what I hear.
Let's go with
Golfers, let me know if that's totally off. But I think that's right. And even for myself, like I think we shared about this earlier this week. If I have gotten everything that I wanted to get done that day, instead of closing my computer and going outside, I'll be like, okay, cool. Let's open my email. What else can I do? Because then that way I feel like I've been productive, that I've gotten a lot done. Again, this goes back to our decision matrix, right? If you're doing a lot of low-level tasks just to feel busy, you're not actually doing anything productive. You are not being productive when you're busy unless you're doing something that moves your life and your business forward. Okay? So this really, it requires a lot of just like being honest with yourself and sitting down and saying, this is all that I need to do. Okay? Because again, why are we doing this? Why are you guys so obsessed with being more productive? Because you guys know that the gold at the end of the rainbow is that when you get more done in less time, you can spend more time doing what you love. right? Isn't that why you're all here? You want to enjoy time with your family. You want to go enjoy time in nature. You want to travel while making money, while serving others, while your business still functions. This is productivity. Okay. So don't forget the bigger vision here. Don't forget what you value and to link everything that you do with that. Don't forget what's on your joy list, right? What are you going to spend that newfound time doing? It's not email. You don't have to, right? So this is really the kind of like intangible mindset stuff that we really need to start to just work towards and really come to terms with, and know that we're all here to support you, right? We are not here to say like, how many hours did you work today? Okay, great. Then you've earned your paycheck. That is old news. And it's so exciting and it's so fun. And we're so thrilled to be in this place where people are on board with that mindset.
Yeah, when I love this subject of reprogramming subconscious beliefs, and it's like I've just been super obsessed about this lately. And I know that for me, one of the questions that I had was like, first of all, like, how do you even know what your subconscious beliefs are if they're subconscious, right? And what are the stories that are running us? How do we know? And of course, you can like work with a coach, you can journal, like there's lots of different ways, but one really simple way is to be willing, first of all, it's like shadow work, like be willing to look at your shit, be willing to look at the pain that you're experiencing. And so let's just take a really simple, very appropriate example here where, many of us seek out productivity because we feel that something is lacking in our life, right? Whether it be time, whether it be not getting enough done. And so that's the first place that you can look for these subconscious beliefs that might be running you that you may or may not be aware of, most likely not. Okay. And this is like really tricky, funky, slippery stuff, but follow me if you can. So why are you interested in being more productive, as Pua said, right? It's like, okay, you probably have a story that starts with I am not good with my time. I need time management. I'm easily distracted. I am not getting enough done. I'm not seeing the results in my business that I want to. Well, boom, there you go. You've just uncovered a bunch of your limiting bullshit stories, belief systems that you have, right? Because you're willing to look at your shit. And we really want to highlight this as like uncomfortable as it can be to look at this. This is going to be the difference of taking what you've learned this week and having temporary results and actually having permanent results in your life. Because when you shine the light on this, it highlights these beliefs. And then what we need to do is reprogram them, right? So this is about awareness first and foremost. So then let's take the example of maybe the story, I am not good with my time. You can ask yourself then, like, is that true? Is it always true? Right? Is this something that I want to be true? So really, I've heard people call it like, put this belief on trial. Like really, really identify if this is true always. And if this is another thing that can really help you, like, is this something that you want to be telling yourself on a daily basis? And is this something that you would say to your child? Like that really gets parents out there, right? Like, would you say this to a little child? Like, you're really shitty with your time. Like most of us wouldn't say that. So why are we walking around either consciously or subconsciously saying it to ourselves? So the other thing, we hear a lot about like manifestation and affirmations and all of this, and how some people see really great results with them and some people don't. Typically, we don't, because we're not addressing the underlying subconscious belief yet and having our like positive affirmations really connected to whatever our personal bullshit belief system is, right? Bullshit limiting story is. So if you want to create really powerful affirmations that will help you to reprogram your subconscious belief, make them specific to whatever your limiting beliefs are. So for example, I'm shitty with my time, whatever it is. I have time management issues. And, I don't even think that it matters so much for you to like figure out where these came from. Like you can do a lot of exhaustive work of like, oh, my mom said this to me when I was this, but it doesn't really matter as long as you know what they are. And then what you can do is say, okay, so what is the opposite? What do I want to be true instead? And maybe it's, I am amazing at managing my time. And if that's too hard of a jump, spend some time, put it on trial, look for evidence where, well, okay, I showed up to this training on time. And actually, I haven't been late in a really long time. And actually, I am getting this done and that done, and begin building up that evidence so that you can really sink into that new belief, that new operating system. And those are your like personalized affirmations that you can say as you do this work. And so that, guys, is going to be so huge. If you've taken that extra step to really begin only telling the stories about yourself that you want to be true as you implement all of these productivity strategies, they are going to have such you're going to be so much more likely to keep them there. Because otherwise what happens is we may implement some of these strategies. We might do a miracle morning or something for a few days, but if our subconscious belief systems are still there, we're going to go back to match them like a rubber band snapping back, right? So really, if again, it's like what Pua said, right? This is probably the most important piece of this entire puzzle. And it may not feel fun at first. Like your ego might be like, I don't want to look at that shit, but gamify it, make it fun. How about we ask the question, how many bullshit stories can I come up with right now? Right? And just write a list, make it fun, have some accountability, have some support, work with a coach to help you on all of this. We're here to support you. So yeah, it's just to re-emphasize that this is really, really the most important thing of anything we've shared this week. Hi. Hi, Pua. Oh, she's looking at her dog. I can tell. Okay, for those of you that can't see Pua right now, I see her like running on and off screen because I think that Ziggy is doing something naughty. So Ziggy is her adorable dog, and he seems to be up to something. Okay, so we're gonna let Pua manage that. And okay, so any questions so far? Any questions? Okay. All right. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat and I will try to manage them. Okay. So subconscious beliefs. All right. So next we're going to announce our winner from yesterday's homework. Okay. So for all of you that got your homework in, we're going to pick a name right now. And hi, we're about to pick the name for whoever won the 1 hour productivity session with me and Pua. Are you guys ready? Okay. I got the names. Here we go. Shaky, shaky. Shaky, shaky. Okay. You guys ready? Are you excited? Is the suspense building? Here we go. 3, 2. And the winner of the 1 hour productivity coaching session is Emma Mitchell. Kupu Mitchell. Yay. Awesome. Yay. Congratulations. Yay. All right. So if you guys don't know Kupu, she has an amazing podcast. She's an amazing healer. The Awakened Woman podcast. Do I have that right? Somebody drop it in. Somebody drop the link. Oh, so wonderful. And actually, by the way, Pua and I do whatever the F we want in our business. So while we didn't really have a prize for today on the last day for getting your homework in for today, which we're about to give you, we decided that we're gonna do another 1 hour coaching session for you guys. We've just been so inspired by how active you've been in this challenge, how you've been just totally rocking it. And we would love the opportunity to, just hop on a call with you and help you to really implement everything that you've learned. So if you get your homework in tonight, then we'll just hop on live tomorrow and share the winner of that. So we're giving away one more productivity coaching session to anyone that finishes your homework. So here's your homework for this final day of our challenge. When you see the homework thread there, you're going to share how you will add accountability and support to your life. Okay, so you're going to share how you will add accountability. Let's say 3 ways. Should we say 3 ways? 1 to 3 ways. Okay, 1 to 3 ways of how you'll add accountability and support into your life to implement everything that you have been inspired to implement from this challenge. All right. Okay, so we still have our scholarship to announce. Okay, I'm just going to check in with Pua real fast. Okay, good. So she's telling me to run with it. Okay, so are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for our scholarship winner? I have to empty my bowl. Empty the bowl. Okay, so just to remind you guys, this is going to be the winner for our B2B scholarship. As we shared, Ashley Strong was our winner last time. Oh my God, you guys, Ashley has been absolutely crushing it in our program. And since she won our scholarship, the last challenge that we did, she dove into our program and she has created a Facebook group. She's about to create an online, she's working on her online course. She's about to release her online course. We have just seen her like freaking rocket, and she's inspiring us. She's incredible. She's been showing up. She's been like doing the work over and beyond. So we are just, we're like absolutely obsessed with Ashley and her journey. By the way, definitely check out her group if you're interested in finding out more about how to organize your home, how to have a clean and organized, balanced home, work with your family to have a nice, peaceful environment that supports you. So that's what her course is going to be all about, and it's what her group is all about. She shares daily tips, so definitely check that out. Okay, so our scholarship winner is going to get our full paid scholarship to Broke Ass to Badass, our signature online coaching program. It's a combination of one-on-one coaching, combination of group coaching, really epic, supportive Facebook group, and an incredible online university that helps you to create and build and scale your online business and your online presence, and really helps you to take and monetize whatever your gifts are, to get clarity on what those are, get clarity on how you want to serve, and monetize it. Get it out there into the world so that you can help the people that you're meant to help. Okay, are we ready? I know, I'm like totally building up the suspense here. Okay, hold on. That's the sound. Here we go. Okay, and the winner of our B2B scholarship is Davlin. Woohoo! Awesome, Davlin. Congratulations. Oh my goodness. We are so excited for you. Oh, magic. We met Davlin through Jamie Yoshida, actually. She introduced her to our community. So awesome. Congratulations. We're so excited for you. We will be in touch. So I don't know if she's on live. Is she on right now? She might not be on. Okay. So, but don't worry, guys. As we mentioned, Broke Ass to Badass, our program is opening. We're reopening enrollment, and the doors open on October 1st. So that's just around the corner. Oh my gosh, what is today? It's the 28th. It's Joey's birthday today, actually. And that's my boyfriend. It's his birthday. So yeah, so we're almost here at the end of the month. And we have, so this is a really great time to hop into B2B. And I'm going to share just a few of the reasons why. So for one, It's an 8-week program. So if you hop in now to B2B, then you are going to be really making the most of the rest of this year. And whatever goals, visions that you set out to have at the beginning of this year, oh my goodness, B2B is going to help you to really create it, launch it, be ready, and especially to begin to start 2019, really ready to rock it. So great time to hop on board. And we have a special bonus for all of you guys too. So we periodically do bonus sessions for our B2B community and for our graduates community. So as we shared, once you go from Broke Ass to Badass, you go into our graduates community. So we have a really special call that is coming up for our B2B community that we want to invite you to. So if you're able to get in before October 8th, you'll be able to hop on that bonus call. And it's going to be all about nailing down your badass profit pyramid, which is it's a really, really great training that's going to set you up so well for the work that you do in B2B. So your profit pyramid, if you're familiar with that term, is all about what are the different levels that you serve at, right? So if you probably have as you create this infrastructure of your business, a really sustainable business, you want to have a place where people can connect with you where it's just minimal investment, right? So a free download, a Facebook group, ways that people can get to know you. Maybe it's a podcast, right? And that's a place where people get to know, like, and trust you. And then you have maybe a lower ticket item, and then you have a mid-level, and then you have your really high level package or services or product. So we're just going to be talking in depth about ways that you can really create a successful, badass profit pyramid that helps you to create a business where it's not feast or famine, where you don't feel like you're struggling and hustling all the time. Pua and I talk about ourselves as the anti-hustle movement. Our mission for you is not to help you to create a business that's going to implode upon you. We want you to create a business that gives you the freedom, the lifestyle that you deserve. So that's going to be a really, really important call and one that you don't want to miss. So if you want to get access to that, definitely hop on our calendar. And by the way, we have another special for you guys. So, and I'll check here to see if am I missing anything? Okay, I'm not missing any comments yet. So the other thing is that if you look on our calendar, so you can go to brokeasstobadass.com, you can book on our calendar if you'd like to, but we would like to extend out to you a special offer that if you're interested at all and you just want to chat, you just want to find out a little bit more if Broke Ass to Badass is for you, then just DM us. We'll, DM back and forth. You can find out if it's the right program and the right time for you. And so that's a little bit about the program. Let us know if you have any questions. And again, we just want to thank you guys so much for participating in this challenge, for showing up here, for making it so fun. It's just been a party every single day. And we just love you guys. Pooh and I have been having so much fun going back and reading the comments, and we talk about our tribe so much. It's just this is like our happy place. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for all your participation. Reach out if you have any questions at all. If you want to go back and listen to any of these, they're all on the podcast. So you can listen day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And if any questions come up for you while you're implementing, definitely DM us on, as I said, on Facebook or on Instagram at Broke Ass to Badass. All right, guys. Pua says bye. She loves you guys. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye.